Welcome to Pound for Pound ATL, arguably the best place to get facts and opinions on your Atlanta Falcons. And absolutely the best place to get your opinions in. The conversation starts now.
What's going on, football fans? It's your boys back again. Another Pound for Pound ATL live. Got my main man Toby D with me. What's going on, Toby?
Man, ain't nothing but that Senior Bowl going on next week. That's what's gonna be going on.
Yeah, that's coming up, man, and I am super pumped, super excited to go down there, put some eyes on some of these prospects, really get this draft season like really kicked off. We starting to get the ball rolling. But this is going to be like the real kickoff for this particular draft season. They do have the right motto or the right tagline for the Senior Bowl. The draft starts in Mobile, and has really become the premier event to kick it off. And we're lucky enough this year to get a chance to go cover it. Me and you will both be down there live, starting Wednesday. We'll watch both practices Wednesday, Thursday. We'll probably do a live stream on Friday night, or just depending on what the internet situation looks like down there. I don't ever want to guarantee that stuff when we go out of town, just because you never know till you get there. But we might do something like that on Friday. But yeah, man, I'm super stoked. But I don't think we can bury the lead too much longer. I just one of the few times I can say, man, I'm glad we're not a Saints fan. as our friend Jimmy used to say, don't call me no Saints fan, buddy. They are in a world of hurt down there in New Orleans, and like I'll wrap it all up by saying, well, that's a them problem, and I'm glad it's a them problem and not an us problem. But to be negative $74 million in cap, like up in the air about, what you're going to do at quarterback, and then your 15-year, tenured Super Bowl winning head coach steps away.
Yeah,
that's like, and steps away at really a bad time of the coaching carousel. Like, I know no coach has been hired yet per se, but like you're already way behind the eight ball. And like, given the situation that you've got, like people were saying last year before we hired Smith, like, why would any coach really want to come here because of the cap situation? Dude, that cap situation is way worse down there.
Yeah.
So by proxy of by him doing that, right? And it's looking like, and it may not play out this way, but it's looking like Brady's probably going to step away down there in Tampa Bay. And even if he doesn't, that's going to be a completely different team, because you ain't got Antonio Brown no more. You're probably not going to be able to re-sign Chris Goodwin, or Godwin. I think it's Goodwin.
Yeah, Godwin.
Okay.
Right. Godwin.
So you're probably not going to be able to re-sign him, and you were already complaining about not having any weapons with, Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette and Gronkowski.
Yeah.
You were complaining about not everybody's trying to. I should go on a rant here for a minute.
Man, you can go on.
If y'all don't mind, I am on a rant here for a second. These playoffs have been super fun and super entertaining for a lot of different reasons. Like, I was up out of my chair in that Bills-Chiefs game on Sunday because that was that was crazy. But let me just go ahead and say this. I don't want to hear another thing about Aaron Rodgers and his anything to do about him being one of the greatest quarterbacks. Because you talk about however many home playoff games, you ain't supposed to lose in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field when you the Green Bay Packers. And you gonna let Jimmy Garoppolo come up in there and wear y'all out like that when you got the great Aaron Rodgers, who has the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams, who has Aaron Jones as a running back. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. Because anytime I tried to bring that stuff up about our situation here in Atlanta, I was told that my guy just doesn't have it. It just doesn't have that it factor. Just can't will his team to win. Well, look, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I didn't see Aaron Rodgers willing his team to win. And as far as Tom Brady goes, y'all can go look at this stuff. Y'all can go check it because I've done the research myself. Tom Brady ain't never won a championship without a top 10 defense. Period, point blank. Ain't never done it. And last time I checked, our guys only had a top 10 defense once in his entire career.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear about it anymore. About what, who's got what and all. This is a team sport. Okay? You need a good quarterback. You need good defense. You need good special teams to be able to win. And that's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
And so all this crap of trying to tell me that, you can't use it as an excuse that Matt Ryan didn't have no O-line or didn't have no wide receivers. That's all I heard coming out of Tampa Bay. Oh, his O-line was hurt. And his top weapons were gone. Okay, so what? You're supposed to be able to just will your team to win.
Yeah.
And before y'all come at me with all that time in New England, he didn't have no top receivers or nothing like that. Yeah, but he had a number one defense that he could count on making stops. So, I'm just tired of when we choose to make excuses and who we're allowed to make excuses for. That's the part that gets on my nerves. And a lot of it comes from our fan base. And it just boggles my mind. Are you a fan of this team or not? So, that's the rant over.
I mean, I understand it from a sense of the hardware is missing from Matt Ryan. Of course. And he had his opportunities, and he just ain't had the defense that everybody else has had. The defense that was getting all those turnovers and started getting the turnovers in that Super Bowl. I hate to bring it up, but they were. But we just couldn't score enough points in order to win that game. And therefore, the stint will still be on Matt Ryan, and fans will still talk about Matt Ryan now because he doesn't have the hardware to at least back some of that talking off. And it is what it is, but ladies and gentlemen, it's a new day in the NFC South.
That's it.
I mean, with everything you just mentioned, the sun is starting to shine. Now, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee no Falcons are about to go to the playoffs and all of this and going to win the division because of all the things you just said earlier about Sean Payton stepping away. They're in cap HE double hockey sticks right now. Carolina down there basically has signed away their fate. Matt Ruler's pretty much going ahead and signing himself on out the door, signing Ben McAdoo as his offensive coordinator, who hadn't really done anything since he was with the Packers. So it's going to be interesting to see how the NFC South unfold, let alone your boy Levante David decided to let it all out of the can that they are down there, heads and personalities butting heads with each other. Because of the strong personalities down there. And what it is believable, they kept it together to try to win another Super Bowl until Brown himself went on ahead and imploded.
That dude, son, that dude is man, he is if he gets another job in the NFL, I don't know how any team would want to willingly bring him in.
Hey, man. It's possible because of his talent, he could get another job with somebody who could probably handle him a little bit better. But you got to give, like they say, Mike Tomlin a lot of respect, man, for all that he dealt with. Because we didn't know a lot of this stuff was going on behind the scenes because Mike Tomlin and them kept it so, tight-lipped and kept it in that locker room for so long until it finally got to a point where Antonio Brown got the big head and just said, you know what, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go ahead and let the real self show.
Right.
And that's what he's been doing ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and a lot of people like to bring up that Vontez Burfict. I think it was Vontez Burfict, or
Yeah.
yeah,
When he knocked them out in the playoff.
right, when he knocked him out. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's but as they say, that's a them problem.
Yep.
But all I know is, as of today, the 25th of January, the NFC South looks a lot different than it did the start of the season.
And quickly.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And because I've already seen like prominent people talking about, potential fire sale going on down in New Orleans. So yeah, they may be busting out paper bags before too long. Kind of breaking tradition. Jaden Scheffler has tipped us $5, which we appreciate.
Man,
He says, "How's everyone doing?" And he says, "After watching the Titans game, I want Ben Jones. Keep up the hard work, guys." Now, Ben Jones, now that's like, I don't know. I'm not saying he's as good as Alex Mack. I don't think he is. But somebody like a veteran center like Ben Jones, who's got that nastiness, like he could make a major upgrade on our offensive line. Yeah. And so he's a guy I'm going to be pounding the table for quite a bit. And I got a scratchy throat tonight. Anyway, so with that being said, like as this offseason wears on, like right now we are in prospect mode because of the Senior Bowl. So me and you are trying to get in as much as we can, watching film, which I hope, if y'all haven't had a chance to, I hope y'all check out the Pound for Pound website. That's p4patl.com. Me and Toby are doing what we can to get up. We got up about 50 prospects as of right now, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But we're posting up player evaluations. We're posting up our official Pound for Pound mock drafts. So, if y'all get bored at work, go check it out. If you get bored need something to read while you're on the pooper, it's good material there. But we've gotten running backs and quarterbacks and defensive linemen and cornerbacks and O-linemen. I think the only thing we haven't really hit on yet is linebackers or tight ends.
So, we got wide receivers up.
Right.
We got every position up pretty much except for cornerbacks will hopefully be coming this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're working on cornerbacks, but we're getting that stuff going and getting that stuff posted. Willie Doc just tipped us $2, which we appreciate, Willie.
Good dog.
He says, he said, "Did Fontenot see the writing on the wall and left?" I don't know if that's the case. Fontenot took an opportunity to have one of 32 jobs in the world.
Yep.
Is what Fontenot did. Like people ask all the time. Like you take David Cooley down there in Texas. He knew he was going into a bad situation. He knew that he was probably only going to get 1 year. But you still take a chance at being a head coach. You still take that shot. If nothing else, for the guaranteed contract that you're going to get.
Exactly. $22 million roughly.
Right. I'll go coach somebody for a year for $22 million.
Let's go.
That's like a guaranteed lottery win. So, but yeah, I don't think he saw the writing on the wall in that sense. I think he was I think it's straight up and down opportunity, one of 32. So he jumped on it. And that's how I see that. All right, well, that's pretty much the opening salvo. There isn't necessarily a ton going on with the Falcons at this moment, other than Lee Smith retired today. 11 years in the league, mainly a blocking tight end. I liked what I saw of Lee Smith. He gave us more than I expected him to when we signed him. Whether it was out of necessity or whatever, but he seemed like a fun veteran to have on the roster.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, he'll be missed. And the fact that he was like our sixth O-lineman out there more times than not. So, they're going to have to sign him a new blocking tight end.
Yeah. And for many that don't know, I think we got now to the pick.
Yes.
After the 43rd pick in the second round because of how things fell.
So it's 8th overall, 43rd, and then 58th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And how about go back to my rant for a half a second? How about that with old number 11, like basically played Tennessee for a participation trophy, and to get into the playoffs, and then like 6 catches for less than 100 yards and no touchdowns. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. We won that trade. We got the best out of that from Tennessee. So,
and I don't want to hear anybody sitting up there talking about Ryan Tannehill this, Ryan Tannehill that. Ryan Tannehill ain't nothing without the guy that's over here coaching our team. So you can say what you want to say. He stunk it up.
Big time stunk it up. All right, so let's jump into chat. Dexter Vallish gives us he says, rise up and we that. We that. Nick says, Sean Payton stepped down. Yep, he did. One of the more punchable faces in football I don't have to necessarily look at twice a year anymore. So that is nice. Like all his antics, like I just was not a fan of Sean Payton. Millie Mills says, pound for pound, what's up? What's going on, Millie? So Rose Stockton said, it's a good day to be a Falcons fan, LOL. Gerald Reese says, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? Joseph Thornton says, what's up, pound for pound? Any draft picks that starts with Kyle is a win nowadays. I'm assuming you're talking about Kyle Hamilton. So that's a maybe. And here in a few minutes, we're going to do a live mock draft. So we'll have some fun. Maybe Kyle Hamilton will be there. Archangel says, rise up, my boys. Man, what's going on, Ark? I haven't seen you in a bit, man. How you doing, man?
I'm glad to see you.
Millie Mill says, Treylon Burks at number 8. I don't know. Maybe if we trade back a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sold on any wide receiver at number 8 right at the moment. But, that could change. I wasn't sold last year at a tight end at number 4 this early in the process either. So, who knows, right? Bubblegum says, bye-bye Peyton and Brady. Well, Brady ain't official yet. We're just hoping that Brady is going to walk away. He said he ain't making any decision this week. So
he going to wait to see what they're going to do with his team.
I think so. Yep.
He makes that decision, but yeah. It looks like this team.
Wound Carter says, rise up, pound for pound family. Glad to be here on this Tuesday night. Yeah, glad y'all were open to the time change.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that here in a second, but glad y'all are here with us tonight. Wound Carter says, rant, JR. I try to keep my rants to a minimum. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't come on to hear just me talk. Millie Mills says, yeah, where is Jimbo? It's the off-season Indy. He be going crazy on draft prospects. Again, like I know we'll have to say this a handful of times, but I'm pretty sure y'all saw the intro has changed and some of the other stuff has changed, but it's back to just me and Toby now, at least for the foreseeable future. Jimbo had to, step away for personal reasons, and Mike's work-home life balance was getting askewed, so he needed to step away as well. We appreciate both of those guys for everything that they did for us last year, with helping us with the draft and all the other stuff. But sometimes life just is life, and it gets in the way in a sense. You're not always able to do what you want to do, and as much as we love doing this, and we do it because y'all show up, this is a hobby. This is a hobby for us, just like some of y'all go golfing, some of y'all go fishing, some of y'all play video games. This is what we do. This is our hobby. So sometimes you got to set your hobbies aside for a minute. So, but either way, we appreciate everything that they've done for us. All right, keep on keeping on. Nick says, draft Bauer when he is eligible for the draft. Draft Pitts. He's talking about put Pitts to wide receiver, and draft Bryce Young. All right, Nick, you're just trying to lay out 5 years worth of draft stuff going on there.
Hey, it's draft time, man. We go ahead and talk about that. No holds barred.
Because Bowers is a freshman, So he's at least got 2 more years. So yeah. All that sounds fun though. Let's see, keep it on going. Jamal says, "What's up, pound for pound family? What's going on, Jamal?" Tony Wright says, "What is happening, pound for pound? What's going on, Tony? Glad you in here tonight." Let's see, keep it rocking. Bottom Boy says, "Rise up. Pits will be phenomenal. Posts will be phenomenal." I don't know if that's supposed to be pits or posts. Posts will be fun. I don't know. Need an impact defensive player in the draft. I agree there. Definitely need an impact player. Falcons Empire says, "Preach, brother. It's a team sport. It is a team sport. That's what draws me to this sport. Unlike any other sport, this sport is an ultimate team game.
It is.
And so, that's why I like it. And that's why that's why it aggravates me when we want to lay all the blame at the feet of one player. Like, it's more than just one player.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Tony Wright says, "Toby Jr., do not feel sorry for any of those teams in the NFC South. Boo-hoo." No, heck no. There's an aspect of college football that I don't understand, and it's the rooting for your conference. And I don't get it. I know a lot of college fans who do it, who are like, "Oh, well," especially in the SEC. "Oh, as long as the SEC's winning, we're good." No. Those are your first enemies. Like, that's the first people trying to take you out, are the people in your conference. Right? Like,
and let me tell you something. The only time I root for the SEC is the draft.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Right. But
other than that,
to me, like, I just don't.
Jordan Bulldogs,
I just don't understand that philosophy. Right? I could never, in a million years, find myself rooting for the Panthers, the Saints, or the Bucks, ever.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's okay.
Like, when they play each other, I want them both to lose.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So I don't get that. I don't get it at all. All right, we're gonna keep on going. Let's see. Millie Mills says, "I'll take Lattimore from the New Orleans Saints and a couple of their linemen." He says, "Lattimore from them though, and a couple of their linemen. Yeah, if they're having a fire sale and it comes cheap, sure. Then I'll be willing to root for them."
I don't think they're gonna do much business with the Atlanta Falcons. I just don't. I don't see it happening.
No, I don't. I mean, you don't. Even in this situation, you don't help your division.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't. Let's see. Jared Sheffield says Antonio Brown trying to go to the Ravens with Lamar Jackson and his cousin. Oh yeah. Like, he photoshopped himself into a Ravens jersey, and that was circling. I was like, good Lord, this guy is a mess. This guy is an absolute mess. False start Falcon says it's time for the Falcons to take control of this division. I mean, yeah, it's going to be there for the taking, but the question is, are they going to be able to field a roster that can take it?
That's the question of the day right there, boy.
I mean, you talk about signing 21 futures contracts,
right?
That's, that's crazy. So it's like the deal is going to come down to, can they field a roster that can take it?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see. Tony says, "I mentioned on one of your prior live streams that at the end of 2020, Ben Jones spoke with Arthur Smith and said that he had one more season in Tennessee and that he'd become a free agent and that he'd love to come to Atlanta." I mean, look, if that's the case and the money's right, I'll take him all day long, straight up and down.
Yeah.
I've been on record saying, like, I even posted a clip of him standing up Arik Armstead from San Francisco. I don't think I've ever seen Hennessy stand anybody up. Like, he tends to just let them on through, like they got a ticket. So, I'll take it. I will take Ben Jones all day long.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm on the Ben Jones Jensen right now.
Okay.
Either one of those guys, and because our office staff is very familiar with Jensen, Anthony Robinson and Dwayne Jones both were with Baltimore when Jensen was there, so they're very familiar with the guy. So, and like I said before, I mentioned, usually the Falcons last year have shown us that they take players that they're more familiar with or have coached at, or the front office has dealt with in drafting or, brought in free agency at some point in time. So that's something to take note of when you're looking at the free agents.
Exactly. That is something to consider. And not just the top level coaches.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Copeland was here because of Bush.
Yeah.
So, and initially, what's his face? Oh, man. Markevius Mingo was here because of Machio. So that's something to consider there. And also something else to keep an eye on is like we got a running back coach to replace.
Yeah, we do.
So it'll be interesting to see who they fill that slot with. That's something I've been trying to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Falcons Empire says, I like Leon O'Neal Jr., safety out of Texas A&M. Check him out. Okay. I don't know if I know you've been looking at defensive backs. I don't know if you've come across him or not.
He's on my list. So I have about 8 safeties. Jalen Petrie is a very interesting prospect that if he can make it to the Atlanta Falcons, he reminds me of, where Tyrann Mathieu is playing the safety position. Guy who can blitz, play all over the formation on the defense. And Dexton Hill from Michigan also is a guy that can play all over the formation as well. Will be some great chess pieces for D&Ps. But yeah, I got write-ups of about 8 safeties. I still want to dig into it because there's probably about 7 more I want to look at, and that guy that just was mentioned is one of the names.
Right, so. I got you. Let's see. Willie Doc says, and Millie Mills also are mentioned. It says, if you could trade back in the first round and still get Jordan Davis, would you do it? Depending on how far back we're going. But if I could pick up an extra second round or third round pick and still come away with Jordan Davis, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Jordan Davis is really like teetering on being a top 10 pick.
Right.
Okay. So, if Jordan Davis tests really well, which you saw that video that was going around, I think today or yesterday, about him doing those bag drills and working with Chuck Smith. If he tests really well, he could push himself back up into the top 10 pick or top 10 range for sure. So, I can envision a scenario where if Dean Pease walks into, Terry Fontenot's office and said, look, get me this big hog molly. And they do it, So, but yeah, if I could trade back and still get him, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Billy Ellis says, the trenches are the spots that the Falcons need to focus on. Yes, very much so. You couldn't get pressure, and you couldn't stop from being pressured. That has to be addressed. Period, point blank.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything else, whether it's free agency, whether it's more draft capital. I know there's a contingency of people out there that don't want to hear putting more draft capital on the offensive line, but it doesn't matter to this regime what the past regime has done.
Now, I will say this. Offensive line is strong in talent this year. Yeah. It's talent. It's one thing to be deep, but it's another thing to have talent throughout being a deep position group. And the offensive line, there is no excuse for the Atlanta Falcons not to be able to rectify some situations, depth-wise or starting-wise, in this draft. Right. I would say that much.
Because I'll tell you this, remember the quote that Fontenot had. Their intent was to draft for now and the future. Okay? Right. I honestly believe that Dahlman and Mayfield were meant to be future picks, in a sense of future impacts. They wanted those guys to sit for a year or two. They didn't necessarily, but the guys they brought in, I really felt like they had bigger plans for Gano and Josh Andrews. But by the time Andrews got completely healthy, the damage was done. You might as well ride out with Mayfield and not completely destroy his confidence by pulling him. So, with that being said, people might consider those bad picks, But I don't think those picks were meant for this year anyway.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you this: Drew Dahlman and Mayfield have nothing on this class that's in here now. This is
a
a
much better class.
great
A much
great
better
class.
But
Centers, guards, all the way to the tackles, man. So
but yeah, that was just my opinion on what those two picks were.
Yeah.
Like I think
they were future. They weren't for now.
I don't think that they were meant for now. But all right, let's keep on keeping on. Chris Jameson says, I think one of the top corners would be a better, more move than Jordan after rewatching film again today. I'll say this. You have a chance where you're at to make a position group elite. Like you already have one of the best corners in the league in AJ Terrell. So you have a chance to pair in that defensive back room, and I'm including safeties here. You have a chance to make that group elite with adding, somebody like a Stingley, Booth, a Sauce Gardner, McDuffie, one of those guys, or Kyle Hamilton. Like you have a real chance to start potentially producing like coverage sacks in a sense, and making a no-fly zone in Atlanta, which would be that would be awesome to see. I would love to see an elite defensive unit somewhere on our defense. We thought it was going to be linebackers, but boy, did that blow up in our face.
Boy, I'm going to tell you right now, if Derek Stingley falls to the Falcons at 8, buddy, you better be running to the podium to get this guy. And the thing about it, we're only going off of his past stats, which is well within right, because when you look at some of the other guys, the other corners in this draft, Derek Stingley's past record looks better than theirs. And this is a guy that you saw Jamar Chase took a year off and came back, and look what he's doing. So Derek Stingley, I see no difference. If this guy somehow manages to fall to the Falcons, you better pound the table and get this dude.
I agree completely. All right, let's keep on rocking. Wade says, draft Hamilton, Brees Hall, Myjai Sanders, and the big nose tackle from UConn. Like I don't know, I haven't looked at the UConn guy, but Hamilton, Brees Hall, and Myjai Sanders are all welcomed in the red and black, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Melvin Emery says, "What's up, fellas?
What's up?
The P4P family? What's going on, brother? Glad you're here." Casey says, Hamilton is a stud. Yes, Hamilton is a stud. And if we can come up with Hamilton at 8, dude, all day.
The only problem is I do not see him getting past the Jets.
Oh, I don't either, but I'm just saying, if he's there.
But it definitely would be nice because it is Hamilton and then it's everybody else.
Yes, very much so.
Literally.
So, yeah, Jared Echo says, I hope we get Stingley or Hamilton. Yes.
Yeah.
My Millie Mills says the nose tackle from UConn, 6'5", another scary dude. I think I've heard his name pop up. So he's a guy I'm working on trying to finish out defensive tackles this week, or at least the early part of this week, to hope to get into tight ends before we head to the Senior Bowl. But yeah, I'll definitely check him out. Let's see. Blizzard Wolfgang says, is Sean Payton really retiring? And he gives you that number deal right there. Look, Sean Payton is going to do a year of TV and then hope somebody gives Dallas probably. Hope somebody gives the Saints some draft capital so he can go coach for them next year. I truly believe he's going to take a year off. To me, I feel like he's pulling an Urban Meyer. But instead of running from a scandal, he's running from a horrible roster and no money to fix it.
Well, see, here's my thing, too. When you look at these coaching jobs, they're not really that interesting right now. I think, for me, the Denver Broncos job would be favorable if I wanted that job.
It's the Broncos or it's the Bears.
Yeah.
Because the Bears, you got Justin Fields up there, so you got, your young franchise-esque quarterback. At least you feel like he's going to be. And so it's that or Denver with their young defense.
Yeah.
Like Jacksonville, outside of Trevor Lawrence, they ain't got much. And Houston is a hot mess.
Yeah.
Now the Saints are a hot mess. And like the Giants, like ain't nobody scared or ain't nobody thinking Daniel Jones is the answer. So if you have an ownership that's like, look, I've invested a first round pick, try to make it work with this guy.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody wanting to do that. Maybe Brian Dabble. Like, I think he's going to be the Giants head coach, but that is what it is. All right.
Well,
Keep on moving. Tasman TV says, what's up, Toby and JR? What I miss? Not much.
hold on, man.
We just been chopping it up, talking about the draft, talking about the Saints, talking about everything that's going on. We just been chopping it up like we do. Your boy Bell says, I don't want to see a QB drafted at all this season. Let's be honest. If MR2 goes down, he says, God forbid, it would benefit the Falcons to have Bortles or another vet in the cheap, build a team, and then get a rookie QB. Yeah, like I said, I don't think, like, I'll say this. If Malik Willis is sitting there still in the third or fourth round, and you picked up an extra first or second by trading Ridley, these are all scenarios, right? If you have yet another pick in the first 3 rounds, and Willis is sitting there in the third or fourth, I might take him and just see what I can do with him for a year or so. But I'm not investing a lot of draft capital at all in a quarterback whatsoever. Not this year. Like, if you were going to do that, as much as it annoys me, last year was the year to do that. And I bet you they would have done it had Trey Lance been sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, that's why San Francisco had to jump us.
And I still stick by
Exactly.
that. I think it was between him or Kyle Pitts. Trey Lance went third. Boom. Kyle Pitts.
Done.
Boom. He's a guy.
Exactly. I honestly believe if Trey Lance was sitting there, he would be in the red and black, and they would potentially be trying to move Ryan this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just, that's my opinion. All right. Keep on keeping on. Let's see here. Boy, y'all are throwing out some good stuff tonight.
It's time, baby. It's time.
It's our time to shine, and they are definitely throwing it. CK22 says, wide receiver class is top heavy. Edge is deep. So I want to trade back with Burke's selection, followed by an edge and a D-line in the second. Edge and D-line, you can get some guys in the second and in the third. So that's a group I'm kind of excited about right now. Like, you got your Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Ogundeji's at the top. Not Ogundeji, Ajobo.
David
Ajobo up at the top.
Yeah.
And some people put Karlaftis up there. I'm not 100% sure yet on Karlaftis. But once you get past that, it's a big clump of, like, day 2 type guys.
Yeah.
Like a big clump. And, like, I'm talking about your Jermaine Johnsons, your Josh Pascals, your
Cam Thomas.
Yep, Cam Thomas.
You got me excited about
Cam
that.
Thomas, he's a, like,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, he's a fun dude. You'll like Cam Thomas. And if y'all ain't watched him, y'all should watch Cam Thomas. Archangel says, I love Cordell, don't get me wrong, but he is no longer a spring chicken. Is it time to start slowly building? It's time to start slowly building for the future. I take Cordell back at a reasonable price. You're going to hear me say that a lot this offseason. And it's mainly because we ain't got the money. Like, I'll take Cordell back, but I want it at a reasonable price and a reduced workload. It is like, I want Cordell to have, 2 or 3 touches, 4 or 5 touches a game. Not be the focal point of the offense. I don't want that again. Like, I enjoyed Cordell. I loved calling him Scordell, and I love for him to continue to be part of this team. I just don't need a 30-year-old Cordell Patterson to be the focal point of this offense.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I agree.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that. Smart Rye says, oh, Lord, using some strong words here. He says, I hate Matt Ryan with a passion. Really? With a passion? All right. To each their own, right? He says, but we don't need to draft a QB. I'm enjoying watching him look like an average QB. Good Lord, are you a Falcons fan? Or are you an in disguise Saints fan?
Oh, you tearing them up, ain't
Right?
you?
No elite wide receiver to make him look good. I just got done saying earlier that all of them need elite players to make them look good. So I'm not 100% sure where you're at there, but all right, buddy, that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion. Let's see. They call me Yeezy. Says first round pick. I'm taking a D line. That's D line or defensive back is where I'm at right now. Let's see. Keep on. Okay. Jaden tipped us another $5. Thank you, Jaden. He says watching the 49ers having no corners and still playing good defense shows what a good pass rush and front seven can do. Their best corner was Josh Norman. These things work hand in hand. If you get you a real good secondary, you can make an average D-line look good or an average front seven look good. If you have a real good front seven, you can make an average defensive back group look good. But right now, I think we're closer to having an elite secondary than we are an elite D-line.
Yes, and that to me is the way Dean Pease is built from the back to the front, and you got to
Always
finish building the back. Yes,
like especially his time in New England, like you didn't know any of their pass rushers' names. You know, he was built, like you said, from the back to the front. That's what he likes to do with his coverages. His coverages create pressure. That's how he likes to run. So, like, I can honestly say that I hope that they re-sign Isaiah Oliver because I'd be excited to have him back. So, which is funny.
It would be nice to get him back.
It would be very nice to get him back.
It can. But what I can tell you is if it's one thing I do know about this cornerback class, it is plenty of slot guys who are pretty good at the position to play.
So, No, I got it. Yeah, like I said, I think, coming off an injury and seeing where he was playing, I wouldn't imagine that Oliver would command much money. At least on a 1-year deal. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Millie Mills says, Jacksonville got the real Josh Allen. What do you mean? Unless you're talking about the defensive player. Are you trying to compare Trevor Lawrence to Josh Allen? Because right now that remains to be seen. But we'll see. Like they got a potentially good quarterback. Now can they develop him? CK22 says DQ to New Orleans. Heck yeah, we know he can't pick players, so let him go rebuild New Orleans. That'd be great. Chris James says Cam Thomas, I'm a big fan in round 2. Me and you both, brother. Tony Wright says, expect Dan Quinn to get either the Broncos or the Giants head coaching job. I would be surprised if he doesn't come away with the Broncos head coaching job, to be honest. So, let's see. Wade Hopkins says, what draft capital can we get for Ridley? A first or a second? If the team knows he's going to play, Yeah. Because you're talking about 1 year, $11 million guaranteed. So I think you could reasonably expect a first or a second for him. Let's see. Tasman, put your hands down. Ain't nobody got to catch hands about trash talk. You're allowed to trash talk. You're allowed to have your opinion. Archangel says, Huntley would be good for a backup for Matt Ryan because become a starter. Huntley would be interesting. That from Baltimore, he would be an interesting guy. But I don't like trading for him. Maybe you trade Ridley for him and a pick. I don't know. That could be and would be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, that's pretty much about it on the comments right at this moment. So we got about 15 minutes or so. left. So I would like to go ahead and get this mock draft going here, if y'all are willing. All right, I'm gonna switch over to that. All right, so y'all should be able to see this now. We're gonna be using the PFN, the Pro Football Network mock draft, and now Pro Football Network, they has given us permission to use their mock simulator on our stream. So that's one of the main reasons why we're going to use it, so we don't get in trouble. But PFN throws a lot of trades at you, and I'm not necessarily going to be doing any trades, at least not right now. Okay, so we're just going to do our picks through the simulator and see what we get. So just know we're not going to do any trades yet. We might do it if y'all enjoy this segment. All right, so let's get going here. All right. Here we go. Ah, crap. Stop. What happened? Pause. Go back. Haha. Let's do this right now.
And the mock draft, man, this is getting exciting.
I forgot to actually click the Falcons. So it was just rolling with the draft. I was like, wait a minute, I want to pick. All right, let's try this again. All right, here we go. Let's draft. Okay, we're going to reject this pick. All right, on the board, we have Kenyon Green, Garrett Wilson, Matt Corral, Derek Stingley, and Chris Olave.
Derek Stingley. Yes.
All right, chat. Okay, yeah, chat saying Stingley as well.
He by far outranks those guys from a talent standpoint.
They got, like, PFN's got them ranked as number 11.
Oh, man, they don't lose their mind.
I'm not 100% like agreeing with, like, PFN's rankings.
Yeah. No. I like the fact they lost their mind because he's right there for us. So I'll take it.
All right, sorry. We're going Stingley then. All right, we'll let it run. All right, first of our second pick, we're going to reject this offer because we're not doing trades right now. All right. We got Tyler Linderbaum, Sam Howell, Trent McDuffie, David Bell, Drake Jackson, and Kingsley Ingbear from the edge rusher from South Carolina. And let's see.
I'm gonna let y'all pick. I know who I would want, but I'm gonna let y'all pick.
All right, the chat right now is saying Linderbaum, and I think that's what I would want to go with.
You would have to take him.
I mean, that's too good to pass up.
Yeah,
so we're taking Linderbaum, and we're gonna have a solid center for the next 10 years. All right, 58. Now Sam Howell, the QB out of North Carolina, Drake Jackson, the edge rusher out of USC, Christian Harris, linebacker out of Alabama, Jalen Tolbert, the wide receiver out of South Alabama. I thought that would get you going. You got a linebacker out of Wyoming, and then Trey McBride, tight end from Colorado, and Majay Sanders out of Cincinnati.
Oh. I ain't saying nothing.
Come on.
I'm gonna let y'all.
What you got?
I'm pounding the table for Jalen Tolbert. I'm trying to tell you. That's your number one wide receiver.
That's your number one.
There.
Let's take
second round.
Let's see. Okay, their report on Tolbert is an excellent twitch and suddenness off the line, stack crispy motion, early separation. Tolbert's game wouldn't be the same without his combination of size and speed. Nevertheless, South Alabama wide receiver enriches scouting reports with impressive execution traits as well. All right, chat. Do we want Jalen Tolbert or do we want an edge rusher, Drake Jackson? Who y'all thinking? I'm gonna give y'all a second. I see. I got Jackson. They're saying Harris can play outside linebacker. Somebody's saying we need a lineman bad. Well, we got Linderbaum at the top of the. I think it looks like everybody's wanting. Oh man, it's a toss up between Tolbert and Jackson.
I'm
All
trying
right,
to tell
look,
you,
I'm
Jalen
seeing a
Tolbert,
lot more Tolbert.
the number one wide
I'm
receiver.
seeing a lot more Tolbert. Okay, we're going Tolbert. So second round went offense. All right, we're going to reject that. Come on. There we go. Oh, hey, look. Top of the third round, Majay Sanders is still there. And Arnold Ectoby from Penn State's there. And so is Alec Lindstrom. We could get Chris's brother. But we already got a center, right? We don't need another center.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. And Boy Maffa out of Minnesota. Oh, everybody's going Sanders. The chat just lit up with Sanders. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Majay Sanders. Here we go. Here we go. All right, into the fourth round. We're rejecting this pick.
Oh, here we go. This is where it gets dicey.
Okay, look now we got Caleb Elby, a Michigan, Western Michigan QB.
Okay.
Damon Clark, linebacker at LSU. I don't need any more LSU linebackers. Oh, hey, Mario Goodrich, the cornerback out of Clemson. And Tyler Smith, the tackle out of Tulsa.
Ooh.
Oh, look now.
Who else
James Cook, my guy out of Georgia.
Oh, man. Boy, bang it.
We're going Cook. Yeah, we got to. He's my draft crush right now. I want him on the Falcons so bad. All right, fifth round. Here we go. All right, we got, going back to the top, we got James Impey. That's another center. We don't need that.
Yeah, center.
Brian Robinson Jr., if you want to double down on some running backs.
Ooh.
Jameer Slayer out of Georgia.
Oh, man.
Oh, Christian Watson out of North Dakota State.
What? Wow.
Kirby Joseph, safety out of Illinois. All right, I think it's going to be between Slayer or Watson.
Yeah, y'all go for it.
I've seen a lot of Slayer.
Yeah.
There's one Watson. All right, I think we're going to go Slayer. We'll give some competition to Caleb McGarry there.
Because Slayer can play tackle and he can play left tackle and left guard.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll go Slayer this time around. Oh, as soon as I hit Slayer, the Watsons started showing up.
Hey.
All right, we're gonna reject that one. All right, 190. We got Jordan Williams, defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. Nick Cross, safety out of Maryland.
No.
George DeLucci, a tight end out of UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Alex
good.
Wright, an edge out of UAB. Bubba Bolden, a safety out of Miami. I don't know if we got any Miami fans. All right, I'm thinking it's either, I don't know, I'm thinking Greg DeLucci. What do y'all think?
Yes, he's good.
Somebody's saying let's go defensive tackle. Well, let's read what Jordan Williams. Oh, it's coming soon. They ain't got to this far yet. Okay. All right, you know what? We'll go defensive tackle. We'll give the D-line some help.
Let's go.
We'll see who's there, because I think that's our last pick. Yeah, that was our last pick. Some sites have us with an extra sixth because they're doing compensatory already. All right, so our first ever live, well, not first ever, the first live mock draft of 2022 goes as follows: Derek Stingley, Tyler Linderbaum, Jalen Tolbert, Majay Sanders, James Cook, Jameer Slayer, and the only really unknown I have here is Jordan Williams, the tight end or defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. So,
boy, that's a solid draft right there, Doc. If that ever did happen,
dude, yeah,
wow.
No, I think that draft gets a good grade for me. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna go down that way. But if we can end up with Stingley, Linderbaum, Majay Sanders, and James Cook, shoot, my goodness,
bro.
that would be a draft for the ages right there. Pair that with a halfway decent free agent class. Give me Ben Jones. I don't know. If we get Linderbaum, you ain't going to need Jones.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Jalen Tolbert, that's gonna be a sneaker
I
riser
got
right
you.
there.
So
Dog.
that's a
Tell you,
dude, huh?
shows out at that Senior Bowl next week. Yeah, he's gonna be rising up board real quick.
Chris Jameson said, just drafted 4 starters. Yes, sir. That'd be like that
Yes.
2016 draft all over again.
Yes. Woo!
You're starting, yeah.
Man.
Speaking of doing drafts, I don't know if y'all caught it, but we had one of our frequent chatters joined us for a fan-driven mock draft. And that's something that we want to do more of before the draft comes on. So if y'all want to get involved in that, shoot me a message on Twitter, either through DMs, or you can shoot me a message on the email, which I'm gonna put in chat right now. Is pound@gmail.com. So let's see, gmail.com. Okay, so that's the email address. Or you can, like I said, you can shoot me a DM on Twitter, and we'll try to, we want to do some more of those. So you have to have Skype. That's how we do all this. So you have to have Skype. You can do Skype on your phone. You don't have to have a computer. It helps if you have a headset, even if it's wired or whatever, so that we can hear you better. But, reach out, because we definitely want to do some more of those with y'all. We had fun doing that, and we got some decent views on it and some good comments. So that's something that we'd like to do. We may try to do one, not this Friday, but next Friday. We may try to get one in while we're down in Mobile. So definitely reach out if y'all want to be a part of that. I think that's really about it, Toby.
Yeah.
Like I said, last little bit of housekeeping is, check out the website. We are adding evaluations pretty much daily at this point. I added 2 more defensive linemen, Mathis out of Alabama and Winfrey out of Oklahoma. So, go check those out. That's poundforpoundatl.com. That link's in the description. And we're going to be, after the Senior Bowl, I'm going to start, diving into free agency. Right now I've been real super focused on Senior Bowl. Yeah, Amelia Mills over here talking about Arnold Ekba out of Penn. And that's a guy who is on my list this week to check out. But yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But yeah, I'm going to be digging into who that the Falcons should have on their free agent big board. If you want to call that, names that I think that we'll be able to afford, all depending on if we free up some more money. Right now, we're looking at about $10 million in cap space. They're obviously going to have to do something. Whether it's Grady, Debo, Matt Ryan, whoever. Something's going to happen. So, with that being said, we should be able to land 1 or 2 higher profile free agents this year, I think. And so I'm going to try to give y'all some examples of who those could be. But as always, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128, GRIMM1128. Toby?
Toby D1991.
And we're going to wrap this thing up. We'll, like I said, we're on a bi-weekly schedule now. So we'll have another live stream, not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. Keep an eye on the channel for other content. Like I had your free agent primer the other day. Toby, I think you got one coming out on Friday. We're going to be trying to do the fan mocks on alternating Fridays. So just keep your eyes locked on it and the channel. And, if you got questions, whatever, hit us up on Twitter. We'll definitely interact back with you. Leave a comment under here and I'll answer them. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. And I guess as always, Falcons fans, let's just win, yo. That's
Just
it.
win.
Peace, guys.